Greetings and welcome to Macon County Movie Club. I'm your host, Ryan Stockstad, and tonight is Bigfoot night. Now, the way this works, each of tonight's hosts has brought a Bigfoot movie, but it's up to the guests in the room to decide which movie we actually watch. Now, for our purposes, any movie that features a Bigfoot, monster, a Sasquatch, a skunk ape, a Yeti, anything like that qualifies. Man in a gorilla suit, missing link, no, that doesn't count. My pick is Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century.
Hey, my name's Matt. My pick is 1970s Bigfoot. Just Bigfoot. I haven't seen it, so I hope it's good.
Hi, I'm Kate, and my pick tonight is the early 80s Section 1 video nasty, Night of the Demon. I haven't seen it yet, and I'd really like to, so let's watch it.
Hello, my name is Justin, and tonight my pick is La Maldición de la Bestia, aka The Werewolf and the Yeti, aka Night of the Howling Beast, starring Paul Naschy. Have I seen it? No. Do I want to? Oh, yes.
No, there's nobody. Oh.
So my pick for this week for Bigfoot movie, Night of the Demon. This film was banned under the Section 1 of video nasties in the UK for brutal violence. And yes, there is brutal violence informing removal of all types of organs. I would love to see it. I would love to see some brutal violence. Please pick Night of the Demon.
Our Bigfoot's not playing games anymore. Maybe next time he won't be happy just to scare us.
My pick tonight is Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century. It's Italian. It's an Italian movie made in Canada. It's sort of a disaster movie meets like a Toho movie. You know, it's a monster running amok. This is the biggest Yeti you've ever seen. This is what it says in the back of the box, which I think says it better than I possibly could. This 1977 Italian King Kong ripoff is non-stop fun and camp action, starring the gorgeous Antonella Interlenghi as Jane, who discovers her Tarzan in the form of a giant Yeti. When the Yeti breaks loose, it's Godzilla-style special effects galore as he smashes through the city, crushing the bad guys and searching for his new love, Jane. In preparation for tonight, I must have watched 50 Bigfoot trailers, and this is it, bar none. I was like, this is my pick, this is the one we're gonna watch, because it just looks awesome. If you wanna see a giant monster running amok in Toronto, this is your movie.
Ein Film, der Ihnen das Blut in den Adern gerinnen lässt. Yeti, der Schneemensch kommt. Ein Film, den Sie nicht versäumen dürfen. Demnächst in diesem Theater.
Webster's defines a great film as one that doesn't have werewolves and yetis in them. That's probably why that old asshole is dead now. Because When I see a film, I demand there at least be a werewolf or a yeti. This film has both. It is the Powell Nashi vehicle, The Werewolf and the Yeti. It's also known as Night of the Howling Beast. I have not seen this film, but I am so excited because here's the thing about Bigfoot movies, Yeti movies, that I find very annoying. People go out on a journey to find Bigfoot or a Yeti, and they search, and they search, and they search. Oh, what's that? Not Bigfoot, okay. And they search, and they search, and then for like 2 minutes at the end, I was, oh, we found Bigfoot, we think. But this film is like, what if, when they're searching, there's some cannibal vampire witches that abduct them, turn them into werewolves, maybe a little hanky-panky, and then eventually the Yeti comes in. So, this film solved all the problems of the Yeti/Sasquatch genre, so it's clearly the winner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Action et terreur dans les griffes du loup-garou.
All right, my movie this week is called Just Plain Bigfoot. It is from 1970, and it sort of looks like a 60s bikini movie with a Sasquatch twist. Sasquatch twist. Sasquatch twist. Everybody do the Sasquatch twist. So the history of cinema is full of horny monsters carrying off pretty women for devious intent. We are going to continue with that legacy here tonight. Up in the woods, there's a gaggle of all-male Sasquatch, and they're feeling the itch, shall we say. So much like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, but unlike that bunch of ginger dickheads, these Sasquatch are gonna come down into town and just grab themselves up a Catwoman or two. It's got bikini girls and Sasquatch and a biker gang and John Carradine. So vote for Bigfoot, 1970.
That's my kid up there!
I'm gonna write in Canada. What would be your writing Canada? I really don't know.
Sorry, for those who don't know how to vote, because we haven't done this, not everyone here has done it before. You're gonna pick your first
And the board, thank you. And there you go, Ryan. Last one. Let's do the Sasquatch.
I think we've never had a time where our last place person came in with so many votes before. So congrats to Matt coming in last with 5 votes for Bigfoot 1970. A very respectable placement. Right behind that, with 6 votes, we have Night of the Demon, which again, very respectable. So now we're down to my pick and Justin's pick. And I'll tell you, we've got a clear winner, but it's close. And the winner is Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century. Yeti got 11 votes, or 11 points. Night of the Howling Beast, aka Werewolf and the Yeti, came in with 8. Let's do this thing.
suspicious.
Come on, let's get out of here.
right, well, we just got done watching Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century, aka Yeeti for some reason. This Italian movie was made in 1977, clearly to capitalize on the success of King Kong 1976 and disaster movies like Earthquake. And it was shot in Canada, so you've got some wonderful footage of Canadians running and screaming from a giant, Godzilla-like Toho monster movie type Yeti monster. Don't know why the monster's giant, but that's the way they do things in Italy, I guess. A tycoon, a rich multinational tycoon, discovers a frozen giant in the Arctic somewhere. Some questionable science happens, thing thaws out, runs amok in Canada.
Unlike most monster movies, a King Kong or something, it's not a gorilla, it's not a giant monster in a suit, it's not claymation. It's more like a Geico caveman. He's allowed to be more expressive because he's got his actor face out, and whoever this dude is going for it. He's like trying to be tender at times and trying to really emote and express himself at these, and it just makes it fucking funnier.
He is 100% tender, except when he's like, but then he's like, oh.
And then he's got to do his scream that is like half elephant and half leopard and half the actor just going, ah!
That scream was never not funny for
No.
me. They repeated that scream more times than they repeated that helicopter taking off and taking. It was like repeating that.
The toy
and
helicopter?
Every time was magic. We've got 4 major characters. We have the billionaire, who's full of wacky ideas to make money. You have his 2 grandchildren, his gorgeous teenage granddaughter, and his sadly mute younger grandson.
Right. Oh, by the way, it took me about 80 minutes of the movie before I realized he really was mute and that it wasn't just some Italian kid they were refusing to dub.
Speaking of that kid, he's actually the one who found the monster.
Oh, really?
Remember, it was the kid who discovered the monster, which is
discovered
why he was involved the whole time. Because, once you make that discovery, if it's a comet, you get to name it. If it's a Sasquatch, you're part of it now.
Oh, I suppose we've been spoiling the boy, especially my grandfather, who's like a father and mother to him.
If science can revive that thing there, then maybe your brother can recover too.
They've tried everything, Cliff. Herbie lost his voice when he was in that plane accident in which my father and mother died.
And then it rounds out with a kooky scientist who doesn't want to get involved because he's not in it for the money, but for the science, except is he really in it for the science?
I think we should specify that's one of the worst movie scientists I've ever seen. And I've seen Denise Richards play a scientist.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, we're talking about somebody who doesn't understand how science works at all.
No, not at all.
How the hell did it get out there?
An avalanche probably caught him while he was sleeping on the ice millions of years ago. Then perhaps an earthquake caused the ice to break up and fall into the Arctic Ocean. After that, he most likely drifted as an iceberg until he reached the coast of Newfoundland.
Yes, that's it.
That's only my theory. It hasn't been proved.
Your theories are always right. Henry Waterman is a walking encyclopedia.
Let's not forget the sort of lecherous security detail who, is always making, fuck me eyes to the daughter.
He's straight out of some 70s soap opera and he wants to bone her underage ass.
Yeah.
But then so does the Yeti.
So, I mean, I think certain physical reactions on the part of the Yeti indicate that he is attracted to her on some level. And as the scientist says at one point, he thinks you're his wife.
Oh my god, this is better than the 77 King Kong. Oh god!
Oh, oh my god! When he first picks her up and she accidentally places her hand on his beautiful male nipple. It first inflates, then gets hard in a way that is very interesting and very graphic.
Yeah, it was, I think they were trying to convey that, hey, Edie likes, Yeah. But the effect was so dodgy that people were like, what just happened? What did I just see?
Well,
Edie has a pulsating.
It's literally just like no context, bang on the nipple. So it's like, what
It was such a close-up, you couldn't quite tell at first.
And then you realize what's happening. And then you see his face and the expression of he is feeling arousal for the first time in however many millennia.
It's not pretending that it isn't King Kong.
No.
Okay, it's trying to do King Kong, and
Poorly.
Of course, they capture the monster. They thaw it out. And they're going to take it and put it on display. And of course, the thing gets out and then promptly starts smashing buildings and stepping on people and things like that. But, it's a monster with a heart of gold. He's in love with with our beauty. And only the beauty can tame the beast. That's what this is. How did we forget the American collie?
Indio! Indio the American collie.
The Bigfoot is friendly to little Frodo, but also the little dog, too.
Well, and when he calms down, he's friendly to everyone who isn't aggressive or active in their avoidance of him, because he lets the woman with the little baby who are kind of frozen be. It's the people who are running from him that he's attacking.
Yeah, and also anybody who takes a picture of him.
There is that.
He's having a bad hair day, and he really doesn't want those camera
Except
flashes.
he's not. He's having a glorious hair day.
A glorious feathered hair day.
Oh my gosh, yes. This guy, first of all, he looks so much like Hughes Keys Byrne from the Mad Max. All the Australian movies, Man from Hong Kong, Mad Max. He looks so much like that guy.
Especially hair-wise.
Yeti does have this convenient, fur fanny pack, extra hairy area to make sure that things stay on the PG tip.
Yeah.
We don't want to get a little too swinging, if you will.
Exactly. There is some movement, but it is well covered by hair.
Look! He suddenly seemed to grow weak. Then he lost his balance and fell down.
What the hell was with the Yeti just suddenly checking out for the 30 minutes of the movie? He's just like, and I'm gonna faint and I'm gonna be worthless for a while. And they hook him up to oxygen. And was that really explained? I mean,
we didn't get to see him faint. She just quickly is like, he fell down. He's not breathing well.
He's dying.
I feel like there was a bit. There was half a line of dialogue that was going to go into something like E.T. or War of the Worlds style, our Earth, our atmosphere, it's just not compatible. And then they decided not to do it.
Yeah.
It's like they had somebody start a sentence like that and then just not finish it. And he's just sick now.
Half of this movie is completely half-baked. I mean, it has ideas. It's going to go down those paths. Maybe it'll finish that idea. Probably not.
But at least it lent itself to one of the best just action set piece kills of the movie. What I call the smush.
One of my favorite things about this movie is that elevator scene. Anybody here who has seen Earthquake, or even to a degree the Towering Inferno, there was a whole bunch of movies that love to have elevator scenes in their towers, and so hey, it's the 70s. We got to have our
we want one too.
Yeah, we got to have our Yeti monster with an elevator, and I loved it. I like he smashes his hand in. He's trying to get the girl. He's trying to get her, but
he knows she's in there. There's like 25 people in that elevator, but he knows she's in there.
Yeah, I don't know if he heard her or if he smells her. I don't know. It's half baked. We don't know. But so he grabs the elevator. He's shaking it up and down, and it's dropping and raising, and eventually some people decide, I'm getting off this Titanic, and they climb their way out. Don't bother to help anyone.
Push all the old ladies, old people, and women out of the way.
Yeah. And then the elevator just comes crashing down, and she's stuck there hanging in the...
literally the last guy is like,
good luck.
Tough luck, broad, and just like pushes himself.
Yeah, and she's left there just hanging inside the thing. What's great is that Yeti is like, I'll get you. But he has to climb down the whole building to get his hand in there at the bottom of the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved every second of it.
Oh, God, help!
The one thing this movie had a budget for was candy glass.
Yeah.
The whole movie, anytime they could smash glass, they smashed some goddamn glass.
In fact, towards the end of the movie, there's a shot where there's just a big giant window in the background of the warehouse for no reason at all, and I'm thinking,
yep,
we're gonna see some smashing.
We never know exactly how big Yeti is, because sometimes it seems he's about 50 feet tall, sometimes it seems he's about 5,000 feet tall.
Much like Godzilla 98, sometimes he's hiding in buildings, and other times he's taller than buildings.
Yeah.
Well, and he takes Jane with him, because sometimes Jane is also looking like she's like 5-10 times human size.
They always had like a little Barbie doll or something in those shots, and there's a great moment where they juxtaposed it with like a shot of people in Toronto running.
Yeah, like rear projection. Right?
Yeah, and you can see the people running, and the size of the people don't at all correspond with the size of Jane doll in his hand.
He likes Jane a lot. I'm not going to deny that. But his favorite individual in this film, Indio, the American collie.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's sad to say, mild spoiler, if you're an animal lover, skip ahead 15 seconds or whatever. Indio gets brutally stabbed by the bad guy. Shouldn't happen.
At least they didn't show it.
Yeah.
They showed it to her off screen. He's like stabbing, and you
hear-
know.
But then the dog laying in a pool of blood. Indio comes back at the end. He's like, stabs do nothing to me. I'm a super dog.
Yeah. Lassie comes home at the end. He's covered in blood, but he's like running like everything's fine.
He's still covered in blood. That's so funny.
That's the best part is this collie is like drenched in blood, but he's like running, and the little mute boy is like, yay!
And they're running to each other like the greatest of lovers.
Yes.
Across the golden sunset swept field. And then the dog doesn't go the whole way. The dog stops halfway.
The dog's like,
I'm done.
I've gone far enough.
I've been stabbed. What do you want from me?
I'm a sleepy dog.
As well trained as this dog is, the one thing they can't get it to do is act like it likes the kid.
Yeah, and who can blame it? The way the kid holds the dog is the most uncomfortable looking. In every scene they're together, he holds him in a way that looks like he's going to rip off a dog limb.
Yeah, there's some moments where he goes to pet the dog's face or whatever and sticks his hand like in his eyes and his mouth.
I don't think the kid's ever had a pet before,
Do we recommend this or not?
I would say the most important question to ask yourself when watching this film. or if you're debating on watching this film, is have you seen War of the Gargantuas?
Yeah.
And do you like War of the Gargantuas? Because this was about the closest thing I can think of to War of the Gargantuas.
Yeah.
So similar in its own way, or of course to Kong 76. I give it a passive recommendation if you want to watch a Godzilla style, While it's long, it's not often boring.
Yeah. It's a definite recommend for me. I definitely recommend it. That doesn't mean that I think it's good. I think that it has some ridiculous scenes and some funny stuff that pushes it into a must-see. And they're spread out throughout the movie. This movie doesn't spend more than 20 minutes boring you. Once it gets to about 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's going to give you something else that's entertaining. So it's a recommend for me.
I also think it's a recommend, but I do think it requires something like the movie club, because I think if you try to watch this on your own, the boring stuff will get to you and you'll be like, what am I doing to myself?
Yeah.
But with something like the movie club, it's great. During the bad parts you can talk amongst yourselves, and then it'll come back to something bananas.
Yeah, get together with your friends, grab a couple of drinks, and make fun of it. It's enjoyable.
Yeah. All right, so this is the part of the show where we each go around the table and recommend a movie in the theme of the night. So let's start with Kate. Kate, what do you got for us? What's your recommended Bigfoot movie?
So my recommended Bigfoot movie is not a horror movie.
Okay.
It is the 2018 film, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. A long title, and one that may make it sound like a hardcore action film or something that's very schlockmeister. Not at all. It's actually about a man who doesn't particularly like killing, who, for the good of his country, takes care of some major villains, such as Hitler, and a virus-carrying Bigfoot that's threatening all of humanity. It's a little earnest at times, but it is quite thoughtful and quite enjoyable. It stars Sam Elliott and Aidan Turner from The British Being Human, and Ron Livingston from My Heart, and from also Office Space.
What's bothering you?
Things I could have done differently. Regrets. I shot someone during the war. I never wanted that, even if he had it coming. And he did.
My film is called Exists, because Sasquatch exists. It is directed by Eduardo Sanchez, who is one of the two directors of the Blair Witch Project, but it has a much more deliberate kids go to a cabin slasher movie vibe. It's kind of odd because the setup is that they're going to the woods to shoot skate videos and BMX videos. So that's why there's all these GoPros and cameras around. So that sets up the thing. But there's definitely moments where you're like, but wait, who's holding that camera? But it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's just eventually these dumb BMX kids are gonna get attacked by Bigfoot for being dumb kids. Check it out. Exists.
Pushing us towards the edge!
My pick is a criminally unknown, little-seen gem from the late 80s called Demon Warp. The reason why very few people have seen it is because it never made the jump to DVD. So this is a movie that exists on VHS, but really deserves a proper Blu-ray release. Demon Warp is the best satanic, Bigfoot, zombie, space alien, cabin in the woods, horror sci-fi you'll ever see. It features George Kennedy, Billy Jacoby, aka Billy Jane, Michelle Bauer, and one of my favorite would-be scream queens, Pamela Gilbert, who only made 4 movies, but she gets a rare leading role here. The plot concerns a bunch of horny kids who visit a cabin in the woods only to find themselves terrorized by a Bigfoot monster, who may or may not have something to do with a 100-year-old UFO sighting and persistent rumors of local Walking Dead sightings. Does it make a lick of sense? Hell no. But it's a totally entertaining slice of late 80s what-the-fuckery that deserves to be seen. Find a copy, find it on YouTube, give it a look.
Hey, while you're up, get me another beer, huh? No, we're out of beer, and I'm not up.
So my movie is 2014's Love in the Time of Monsters. It is Bigfoot tangential, I suppose. There's a resort. It's sort of Bigfoot themed. So people come and they take little tours through the woods and oh no, there's a Bigfoot and let's find out about these lovely creatures. So of course it's a bunch of actors in suits. So what if you have a half dozen actor bros in Bigfoot suits who then drink a bunch of toxic waste and turn into zombies? So it's kind of exactly what you expect from Doug Jones and Kane Hodder showing up. Although thankfully, neither of them are wasted in a one-day cameo role. They both have actual sizable parts. So it's not one of those movies that's going to suck you in to see one of your favorite horror actors and then barely give them any screen time.
Put it back!
Mom?
Listen to me.
We love family vacation!
All right, well, we are at the point of the night where we are going to figure out what we're going to tackle next week. Kate, would you do the honors and draw? Your turn, Justin. Pick out a theme. I'm going to dig right on in there. I'm going right for the bottom. Your turn, Matt. All right, let's have them out. Kate, what do you got?
Well, I think since this has been drawn 2 weeks in a row, it's just asking to be selected. Golden Harvest.
Oh, Golden. Oh, yeah, that's in the running. Okay, what do you got?
This is something I only vaguely know what it is. Category 3?
Oh, Category 3, Hong Kong. These are extremely gory, extremely violent. It's like, it's not just R-rated. This is for adults that are into fucked up shit. I've got something that's a very different direction from all of this. Noir / neo-noir. I love when we get a genre to tackle. That's a good one. Matt?
Mine's back to basics. It's just trauma.
I'll tell you this. We've had a lot of horror, and I would love to have our next episode be in a different direction. So I'm going with noir / neo-noir. Join us next week. We'll be back, and we'll be tackling that subject. It should be a good time. Be sure to subscribe right here for new episodes every Friday through the rest of the year. And look us up on Instagram at the LA Frankenstein Channel. I'll see you next week. Thanks again.